As long as I live, so long do I learn. God is in all men, but all men are not in God, that is why we suffer. Many are the names of God and infinite the forms through which he may be approached. Through selfless work, love of God grows in the heart. Then through his grace, one realizes him in course of time. If you must be mad, be it not for the things of the world. Be mad with the love of God. Repeat the name of God always, that alone is the duty. That will help you in attaining God. God is to be realized through love and devotion. The less you think of yourself, the more will God think of you. He who is in search of God must be prepared to go beyond good and evil. Whatever is necessary for you, whatever is beautiful for you, do that only. Complete self-surrender is the only way to spiritual illumination. The world is indeed a mixture of truth and make-believe. Discard the make-believe and take the truth. The feeling of I and mine is the ignorance that binds us. Longing is the lamp in the heart, burning with the oil of oneness. The pure mind is itself Brahman, it is neither born nor does it die. The world is a reflection of the mind, as you see it, so it is. There can be no devotion without renunciation. When the divine vision is attained, all appear equal, and there remains no distinction of good and bad, or of high and low. He who has the knowledge of God knows that different religions are but so many paths to reach the same goal. Work, apart from devotion or love of God, is helpless and cannot stand alone. God is the only doer, everything is done by him. The world is like a sheet of paper on which something is typed. The reading and the meaning will vary with the reader, but the paper is the common factor, always present, rarely perceived. God is realized through selfless love, not through mere scholarship. A river flows by different paths but ultimately reaches the sea. So, too, the aspirant can reach the same goal by following different paths. Pray to God that your attachment to such transitory things as wealth, name, and creature comforts may become less and less every day. The rainwater of mercy is always pure and uncontaminated. When it falls on the pool of a devotee's heart, it assumes the form of the divine nectar of love. If you want peace of mind, do not find fault with others. Rather see your own faults. The world is like a snake. One should not be unnecessarily frightened of it, but one should always be cautious. One should not look on religion as a means of livelihood or as a source of worldly gain. The sign of a devotee who is immersed in God's love is that he becomes speechless. He finds no taste in talking with worldly people. The unripe ego shouts, "I am the doer." When the ego becomes ripe, it says, "I am the instrument, thou art the doer, O Lord." The sun and the moon cannot illumine the soul. The soul is illuminated only by the light of God. As long as we live in this world, we must have a motive to work. Blessed is he who works for the sake of work, not for the fruits of work. One must love God with an undivided heart. It is impossible to reach the goal if one is subject to doubt and vacillation. Complete self-surrender is the only way to come near God. The spiritual path is like a razor's edge. You must tread it very carefully. God is the only friend that will never leave us, no matter what. The Divine Mother, as Kali, is always awake in us. She is present in everything. The mind is like a mirror, it gathers dust and needs to be cleaned through spiritual practices. Do not be proud or egoistic. Do everything humbly, realizing that God is the doer. The purpose of life is to realize God and experience oneness with the divine. Through simple faith and sincere prayer, one can achieve the highest spiritual realization. Do not be disheartened by failures. Keep moving forward with faith and perseverance. To see God, one must have a pure heart and pure love. God is beyond gender and form. One can realize God as both mother and father. Serve others selflessly and see God in every being. Pray to God with a longing heart, just like a child cries for its mother. The path of love is the easiest way to realize God. Detach yourself from the world and meditate on the divine within. Renunciation does not mean giving up the world but giving up the attachment to worldly things. The essence of all religions is the same, to love God and love all beings. Spiritual awakening is like a flower blooming, it happens naturally when the conditions are right. One should have a childlike heart to attain spiritual wisdom. The mind is the cause of bondage and liberation. Train it to be your friend, not your enemy. God is like an ocean of bliss, and the human heart is like a jar. The more you can expand your heart, the more bliss you can contain. The world is transient and full of suffering. Seek the eternal and find true happiness. One should avoid excessive talking and gossip, it disturbs the peace of the mind. Be like a honeybee, which takes only the nectar from flowers and ignores the thorns. Serve all with love and see the divine in everyone. The company of holy people is like a spiritual tonic that uplifts the soul.